Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader Argenta build. This build works for the version of the Infinite Museion 1.6 and beyond. The build was made to work on unfair difficulty, and if it works on unfair, it works on all other difficulties as well. Argenta is by far the most OP companion in the mid and especially late game. She's a bit weak in the beginning, prologue Act 1, but starting off from the mid of Act 2, she becomes stronger and stronger, and when you reach Act 5, she becomes definitely the strongest companion in the game right now, stronger than Cassia, stronger than Ulfar, stronger than all companions together. Argenta is just straight up nuts. Let's not waste time, and let's go. Let's begin with itemization. First, the weapons. One should be a classic mini bolter, the best one is the shell whip, and the other one should be improved heavy bolter. Before we get this two, of course, you're gonna spend most of the time playing with a classic heavy bolter on Argenta, as well as a storm bolter, the golden bolter, Hymn of Vengeance, and her classic starting bolter. Anyways, this is a bolter heavy gunner Argenta. Yeah. Now what about the items? Helmet, hit chance, critical hit chance. You get this extremely early on, and this is the one you're gonna play with until the very end. You don't switch a thing as far as Argenta goes for the helmet. She's perfect with this. For the armor, any medium armor with the highest armor percentage, with perception, with ballistics, with dodge is the way to go. Now, as far as the trinkets go, Commander's Chrono is by far the best freaking thing that you can equip on Argenta, because she's always gonna play first. And when Argenta plays first, that's probably a one-round sweep on unfair. For the second trinket, we're gonna use Book of War Prayers, where Argenta will deal 10% more damage to Xenos and demons. It also fits Sororitas as well. Now, for the amulet, there is no better one than the Blessed Bolter casing. This is a must on Argenta, even though there's plenty of good trinkets and amulets in a game. For Argenta, basically anything that enhances recoil, burst, ballistics, agility, all of that is valid on Argenta, but this one you'll always hit with a single target shot, and her ult gives her a bunch of single target shots that never miss, so you don't play with anything else but with bolter casing. Now, as far as the gloves go, Compensator gloves, rate of fire by 40% is the absolute best. There are a lot of good gloves on Argenta as well, especially for bolters and for burst attacks. They're all valid, but this one is probably the best because more bullets on a burst attack, that means a lot, yeah. Also very good gloves to have of those that you get at the end game in Act 5 that enhance critical hit by, I think it was 50% or something, but still, I truly believe Compensator gloves are the best on Argenta. Before we get these, of course, any gloves with ballistics go on Argenta. Now, as far as the cape goes, we're gonna equip a tactical backpack. It enhances rate of fire. Argenta scales with rate of fire. And for the boots, Adrenaline War boots, she's always gonna get 20% to dodge until the end of the round. Now let's see the leveling. Soldier into the Arch-Militant into Exemplar. For the soldier part, at the start, run and gun, into Demolition, into Revel in Slaughter. After that, it's ulti, Firearm Mastery that you're gonna use from now until the very end, the best ulti on Argenta by far. Then it's immediate talent, second skin, so medium armor counts as light. Then we're gonna take agility, then we're gonna take bolt weapon expert, then we're gonna take agility again, into the rapid fire, now it's time to burst, yeah, with bolters. Then we're gonna take ballistics, into nimble, after that we're taking fired up, into demolition, then it's ult upgrade number 3, then we're gonna take unfaltering fire, into the ballistics, into the dash. Dash is bread and butter, but later about it. Then we're gonna take awareness, into perception, into tenets of retribution, Then we're gonna take Alacrity into It Will Not Die for some extra wounds. Then we're gonna take Better to Die for the Emperor, and then it's Awareness into Ulti upgrade number 2. Now we're gonna transfer to the Arch-Militant. Arch-Militant Versatility stacks, then we're gonna go with a Wildfire immediately, because this is like the absolute most important thing on Argenta during mid-game. Then we're gonna take Always Ready. After that it's Ulti, Steady Superiority. Then we're gonna take Action Points Increase into Strength. Now why Strength? We're preparing Argenta for a Heavy Bolter, because at this time you're supposed to find a Heavy Bolter. After that we're taking a Heavy Weapon Proficiency, again preparing Argenta for a Heavy Bolter. Then we go with a Ballistics into Devastating Attack for some crowd control. Then we're gonna take Overpower into Demolition, into Flash Fire, upgrade for the Wildfire. Then we're gonna take Ballistics into Breaking Point. Breaking Point is an absolute must immediately after you equip a Heavy Bolter. Then we're gonna take a Heavy Gunner, so Heavy Bolter costs 1 action point less. Then we're gonna take Demolition into Agility, into a Steady Superiority Ulti upgrade number 1. After that it's Awareness, into Critical Versatility, into Agility, into Stronger Together. Then we're gonna take a Kick for the ability. After that we're taking Accustomed to Glory into Perception, into Awareness. Then we're gonna take Breaking Attack into Toughness, into Perception, and we finish off with Grenadier for some free grenades. And Ulti upgrade number 4 is how we finish the Arch-Militant. Now we're gonna transfer to the Exemplar. On the Exemplar we immediately take Extermination, and we're gonna pop it up with Integrity. After that we're taking Demolition into Adaptability, Agility into Doing My Part. Then for the ability we're gonna take Entrench. After that is Demolition, into Critical Velocity, into Martial Art. After that would be Ballistics, into Enough Bullets for Everyone. Then the ability would be Reckless Rush. Now Argenta can cover a lot of ground as well. After that we're taking Ballistics, into Distract, and into Swift Movements. On the next level we're taking Awareness, into Know It All. After that it's Action Point Increase, Power Spike with a Swift Slaughter, and Awareness. After that we're taking On the Double with Medic. On the next level Dependable with Agility. Then we take Perception into Medic. For the Exemplar talent we're gonna take Vital Points, and then we're gonna take Unpredictable for some extra crit. On the next level we're taking Exploit Weakness into the Medic. Then we're gonna take Wreck and Ruin into the Emperor Protects. After that it's Control Shot into Toughness, and then it's Pinpoint Accuracy into Awaiting Orders, and we finish up with Action Point Power Spike, and that would be the leveling for Argenta. Now what about Augmetics? Argenta doesn't need that many Augmetics. You can literally play without Optical Insertion, without Cortical, without all of these, but the only important one is the Somatic Insertion because of the bolters. So when you find an MK Arch-Militant, and this is how it looks like, Weapon Optimizer, okay? There is a weaker version and a more powerful version of it. So when you find these two, those are the one you can equip with Somatic. Everything else you don't need any single augment on Argenta. She's extremely OP. How do we play Argenta? Early game, usually it's rapid fire, position yourself, use the bursting shot, and then you go with run and gun, shoot a single shot, and use Award Him Furious Recital if you killed anyone. That's the early game. Mid game, everything I said, only there is Revel in Slaughter now. Mid, late, and late game, everything that I said. After the burst attack you use Wildfire, so you can use burst attack again. At the end you go with a dash to position to cover. That's about it. If you need movement points, there is always Reckless Rush. If some enemy gets close to Argenta, which is gonna happen very rare, but if they get close to Argenta, there is always Kick. Also, if you wanna go with aggressive mod on Argenta, you can go with Reckless Rush, get close to the enemy, kick them, position enemy, and then use Burst Fire to get multiple enemies in the same line. That's also the way to play with Argenta. Of course, once the ult is full, you want Firearm Mastery, you position so you can hit multiple enemies at the same time. And basically Argenta can provide 20 to 30 flat single shots per round and at least 40 to 60 bullets for burst shots. She is insane, completely insane. And a late game, Argenta will, with this build, Argenta will produce 2 to 400 damage per bullet. Now multiply that with 40, 50, 60 bullets in a round. That's why I said she is by far the most OP companion for the late game in Rogue Trader. If you enjoyed the video and if you found it helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching.